Welcome to Triggered, the podcast where we explore what is on the other side of what may be triggering you. Today, I get to sit down with Greg Burgoyne. He's an amazing individual, and I had the opportunity to work with him about 3 years ago. He went through the NeuroFit program, and I could, help him navigate a lot of internal hardship, emotional heaviness, and mess. But today, we get to explore a lot more than that. We get to explore his journey from being full-time pastor to opening up his own business and navigating the business world. We get to get an insight to his burnout journey to becoming really open and honest with his wife and how that was really hard for him. But he shares and is very vulnerable on what is actually happening in his life today. So I'm really pumped. This is going to be an epic conversation, and it gets quite deep. I just want to preface it first. Greg is very faith-based, and so we do get into a lot of faith and spiritual talk in this podcast, but I'm sure it's going to still give you a lot of wisdom, give you a lot of insight, and show you what the journey may look like to overcome some triggers. Thanks so much for hopping on today, Greg. I'm pretty stoked. I do want to quickly just share. So one, I am pretty pumped, and I don't get to tell this to you much, but I was reflecting today, and I was like, Greg's been one of those people that's been in my life for a very, very, very long time. With my youth pastor way back in the days, keeping me out of trouble, making sure I'm not doing stupid teenage stuff. But there's a story I share to a lot of people in one of my analogies in session 3 of my program that involves you. It was so I thought I'd just start it off with that today, bro.
Yeah.
So basically, I have this the story I'm sharing of I go to I'm coaching this person that's very well known in New Zealand because I was 2 years ago, and I'm super nervous. Like I wake up in the morning and I'm like, oh crap, I'm gonna show the mirror to his identity today. And then I'm like, who am I to do that? Like I'm not, like I haven't done this, and then I went catastrophized and I was like, oh, NeuroFit's done today. He's gonna tell everyone that Rico's crap, right? And so I'm in the car and I got my self-belief list, and one of them is today I choose to believe I'll be a light in every room. And so as I'm driving, I start talking to myself. I'm like, cool, like what does that mean? Lots of kind of lights out there. I'm like, oh, maybe it's to do with like tone of my voice and all this. And then I go, oh, was there ever a person that was a light in my life? And then boom, memory of you comes up, right? So I'm driving, memory of Greg comes up. So I was probably like maybe 16, and you take me to a cafe and you have a real honest conversation with me around my relationship with my girlfriend at the time, right? And it was a real awkward, hard conversation as a 16-year-old that you don't want to hear.
Yeah.
It was tough, but that was like, as I'm driving, like that memory comes up and I'm like, wow, like to me, it hit me of what a light in every room means to me. A person that is caring enough of that person that they are willing to tell the truth, not based on how that person might respond. And so as I'm driving, I'm like, well, I guess I know what I got to do now, right? But came down to your memory of you sitting in a cafe and having all conversation with me about how to do a relationship well. And I'm super thankful for that. So to kick it off, hey, one of a kind, Greg, you are here today, and I'm pumped to have you, bro. I'm pumped. So what we're going to do is I'm going to jump into a bit of your story because people know what you do. You're very present on LinkedIn, right? And behind what you do, not many people know. You get a glimpse of the family. Yep, awesome. But how did you get there? So I would love to just a quick origin on who's Greg, where does he come from, how did he get here today? And then we'll jump into a bit more stuff.
Yeah, awesome, man. Hey, well, thanks for the intro. And I'm glad that was a good memory because I don't remember it that much. And the fact that you do, I mean, you can draw me back there and I absolutely remember it. But yeah, it's amazing the conversations that for you are a moment in time, and for someone else is a really catalytic conversation.
Yeah.
I've had other people like that for me as well. So a bit of origin story. I was born in South Africa, moved to New Zealand when I was 4. I got one older brother who's a little bit older than me, about a year older. We lived in Auckland for a bit. I did 4 different high schools in 5 years.
Wow.
We just kept moving and just changing different schools, not because I was getting kicked out, just because we're trying different things. And went from private school to public and private to public. We moved from Auckland up to the Bay of Islands when I was about 14.
Epic.
And so that was a bit of a small town vibe. About 10,000 people there at the time. Moved from a big city with lots going on to you got to make your own fun. And it's just a totally different landscape up there. Finished school we did a number of trips back to Africa. I was into board sports like skating, snowboarding, mostly individual sort of stuff. I played different instruments. I did piano, saxophone, clarinet, got trained in some opera, just a bit of parents were like,
In opera.
yeah.
Wow.
Was doing piano and was practicing for exams. And she said, you've got a voice. We should train that.
And today is your debut.
No, not anymore.
We have a mic there, Greg.
It's a use it or lose it thing. I've definitely lost it.
Oh, okay.
But parents were keen that I did a bit of everything and they were keen that I tried lots of different stuff. Finished school at 17, went to Mexico for a year after school because I was early for uni. At 17.
By yourself?
By myself through Rotary, did an exchange. That was awesome and terrifying at the same time. Just arrived, knew no Spanish and had to learn.
Being a white boy into Mexico, mate.
Yeah,
17.
There's some stories we won't dive into. Yeah, it's a crazy time. Came back, went to uni, studied law and commerce. Nearly went into law and psychology. But the first year it was too boring.
Yep.
And the relationship, interesting side of things really only happened year 3 if you pushed your way through. But started doing a double degree. They got into ministry, so started doing youth ministry work. I grew up in a family that was taking me to church. Mum was taking me to church, grew up Christian. So I got involved in ministry, was doing youth ministry while doing the studying. And that was pretty full on. Really enjoyed it. But also there's a bit in the story there that led to me then doing youth ministry full-time after finishing 5.5 years study. Doing 2 years full-time ministry. Post-uni.
Yeah.
So I was doing it for 2 years or 2.5 years while I was at uni. And then 2 years out full-time or 2.5 years.
Gotcha.
Burned out in ministry. So there's a bit of a story there.
Yep.
Then went into contract management and civil construction.
Okay.
Yeah. So that was a hard switch.
Full swing.
It was basically wherever I could find work. So I just couldn't find sales roles. I was going to do door knocking from youth pastoring was, well, what have you done? And I said, I have a degree. Yeah, but what have you done?
Yeah.
I just really struggled to get any work. So I went to civil construction in the Bay of Islands, Move City. That was just a total context switch. Then was there, got married, throw that in. Was dating Laura at the time. She moved to Kerikeri as well. We got married. We had 1 year married, lived in the back of my parents' barn. We converted it into a house. We lived there for a year, saved some money, moved to Auckland, and was managing contracts at a software development company. So someone there, I'd said, hey, I need to get out of this town, need to get away from this job. What should I do? And they said, we'll give you a little bit of work in that. So I was working in contract management, then in software development, systemized that from 2 days a week to 1 hour a month. So I lost my job, worked myself out of a job.
So it was good though.
Yeah, it was good. They kept me on and I started doing some marketing for them. So doing thought leadership pieces for the CEO on the future of social, mobile, analytics, cloud, Internet of Things, basically all things technology. So I was reading white papers, distilling that into key ideas, and then communicating as the CEO for blogs.
Oh, wow.
I thought, you can get paid for this. This is amazing.
Yeah.
It was awesome. Did that for a year. And then the lead pastors of the church we were attending stepped down from their role. Story in that, but we felt called to take that on. And so my wife and I took on that church in Auckland.
Gotcha.
And leading that. And then we'll do the short version. So a couple of years later, we had second child on the way. Wife was keen to be close to family in Nelson. We decided to move and to transition the church. And we moved to Nelson with 2 young kids. Now we've got 3 young kids. We've been in Nelson about 4 years.
Yeah.
And they are 6, 4, and 2. And we're living that family life,
Family life.
deep in the woods.
Come on now.
Of family life and little sleep. And at the time of moving, it was middle of COVID, and started an online business for the first time. And so the past 4 years have been drinking from the fire hose, learning how to run a business,
Yeah.
marketing, sales, fulfillment, systems, all of that.
With 3 kids.
Yeah.
Love it, bro. Oh, so there's so much in this story, and there's so many things I want to jump into. But you came to do some NeuroFit work. What was it? 3 years ago?
Yeah, about three, I think.
Yeah, 3 years ago. Bit of context to that. So what was going on in life that, made you be like, hey, Rico, I think I got some stuff that I want to sort out.
Yeah.
Give us some context.
Yeah, so we'd obviously been in a relationship for a while, so I knew about you and what you were doing, and your transition into the starting NeuroFit and why you were doing that. Respected the amount of work you'd done in that space and your passion for it, so knew that was a topic in terms of when I then got in touch. But in terms of what was going on for me, I'd been trying to, when we transitioned the church up in Auckland, we moved down to Nelson, I thought that it would just be all guns blazing to running business, and that any sort of limitations of previous things would be easier, because now it was just straightforward. Just run the business, focus on family, and
no people.
And no people. Ministry is lots going on. And so I thought, this is really simple. This is going to be really easy. And what I found was I ended up with a huge handbrake that felt like it was on. My energy was really low. I was consistently trying to motivate myself, and kind of flipping between faith, so trying to seek God on that, and then also just self-development books and trying to self-help my way, which is a focus of mine, to try and read a book or get a podcast or get a next hit of inspiration. And I just found that was probably a year and a half or 2 years of doing that, where it would go in waves of inspiration, but it wasn't sustainable. So what happened was, one day I was just really sick of feeling like I was feeling, which was flat, unmotivated, asking if I was depressed. I had been depressed before. And so I'd Googled online and gone, am I depressed? And got John Kerwin giving a few tick boxes in my 20s. I know what that felt like at the time. And I decided just to journal, what are some thoughts that are going on in my head? And normally I would try and jump to the positive and go, but this is what I should think, or this is how I should feel. And I just let the pen go, and I wasn't really thinking. I just wrote about a page of, all this different stuff. And then I sat and looked at it, and I thought, these are some really full-on things. It was
like a brain dumping.
Just a brain dump. But I normally would try and go positive, and this was just
negative.
Just negative. Just negative stuff that I normally would go, you're not allowed to go there. You're not allowed to write that stuff, or it's dangerous to go there. And there were things on that list like, you'll always be here. From transitioning in ministry and feeling like at certain times I'd let people down. I had, you always hurt people. Or, you just hurt people. You just is. And your relationship, like with Laura, will always be, there's this kind of real stuckness in that. And I said to my wife that morning, I said, hey, I just did this journaling. There's some real heavy stuff I think that's going on inside me that I didn't know was there. She goes, oh yeah, what sort of stuff? And I opened up the book and I started to read it. I said, things like, and as I started reading it, it made me emotional thinking about it. But as I started reading it, I started crying. And tears started coming out. And she came over and put her arm around me and said, those are real heavy things. Like, don't say that about yourself. And I said, kind of choked with tears, I said, but I think I'm just saying what I really think. I'm saying what I think I actually believe. And when I say it out my mouth, for some reason, water comes out here when it comes out my mouth. And I just said, I think I need to talk to Rico. And that's when I reached out to you and said, hey, I got a bunch of heavy stuff going on that I didn't know was there. Here's some things that came up on this list. And I think your response was not, don't think those things. You should, you're better than that. Some sort of positive affirmation. It was, well, good. You're probably just starting to look at some stuff that you actually believe. And that was the start of us having a conversation, then doing some work together.
Oh man. Okay. So there's some big things in that, right? I want to talk about one I think at the time of you coming to me, I've gone through some stuff myself, right? And so I'm like, oh, yeah, like confronting. I remember the first time seeing that writing my own stuff, and I was like, if someone else saw this, they would be ashamed. You know, like it was
Yeah.
like I've let somebody down or that kind of thing. So it is a different like you're not allowed to. Do you feel if I go back into your story a little bit, what told you that you can't feel negative?
Interesting question.
Like where did that
What
yeah,
told
where
me
did
that
that
I
come
can't
from?
feel negative?
Because there's a certain
I,
shame attached.
yeah, it's interesting. I probably haven't explored that heaps. I think one of the things was my upbringing was it was very much that there's social etiquette.
Yeah.
Here's how we greet people at the door.
Yeah.
Here's how we do that. Here's how we do this. Wipe that look off your face.
Mm,
Not in a. It wasn't
harsh.
a harsh thing,
Yeah.
but you're expected to show up
Yeah.
in a certain way around others.
Mm.
So, I mean, that could be something that
Yeah,
you're not.
yeah,
You.
for sure.
I don't remember having a space where challenging or negative. When I say negative emotions, just calling it that. I know all emotion can be helpful in a story that we tell now, but I don't remember having a space where that wasn't attempted to
Mm,
be tidied up, cleaned up, and move forward.
yes.
So maybe there's a bit of
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Okay. Yeah, it was just really interesting. The
The other thing I'd say is probably compounded in a particular faith environment
yeah.
where trying to have a relationship with God and to trying to be a person of faith is if faith can be seen to have a certain lens that is positive.
Yeah.
That is always,
Yeah. So it's
looking
almost like shun upon if you think and feel these things.
yeah.
I get that. And you said so post youth pastoring, church burnout. A couple years later, you take
Well,
on
I would say personal burnout
personal
that
burnout.
happened at
That
church.
happened yeah. So
Because since
we
then, the
yeah.
conversations with people I've had from all walks that I go,
Yeah.
oh, that's real unique to ministry,
Like,
and
nah, it's
finding
not.
that it's just like,
It's just burnout.
yeah, it's career. There's so many.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just not expected in a church environment because that whole part. But if you look at it, if I'm looking at it now, so a couple of years later, you take on a full-time pastoral role as a pastor of a church. When you finished, uh, when you finished and moved to Nelson, is that when things hit like heaviness? Gotcha. So and why do you think that is? I'm curious, man. Like,
I can say what I think it is.
yeah. Go for it.
I think that so my first experience of burning out and being in a ministry context was okay. I think coming out of that and going or coming through that and going, oh, let's make sure that doesn't happen again.
Yes.
So I think
that's wisdom, right?
whatever I picked, well, it seemed like it. It seemed like let's make sure we don't do that again. So what can we learn to not do that again? We then had a time of dating, different season of work, got married, moved to Auckland. There's a period of sort of, what was that, 2 years, maybe 3 years before we did feel called to take on the church in that capacity. I think there's how do we do this well? How do we do this with wisdom? But also, how do we not experience that again?
100%.
So I'm going, how do we do it in a sustainable way? How do we not burn out? How do we love people well? How do we create an environment that is not what I experience in certain ways? At the same time, being semi-aware that there's a sort of a negative vision, an anti-vision. That's not a doing things from a value base, but going, let's make sure we create an environment that isn't
like an escape.
something. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I think I was living with telling myself, oh, this won't be that, or I won't feel that again. And so I think when we transitioned to church and there were some number of things that didn't go the way that I had hoped.
Yeah.
Then I think with the transition, it felt like, oh, you did it again. Oh, that thing that you thought wouldn't happen is still there.
Yeah.
And you haven't graduated from it. You haven't,
gotcha. How does that make you feel? Like in the moment, not now, but like back then.
Oh, in the moment, I think it probably hit on like, you should hide. You should never lead again. You should stay. Just play happy family.
Yeah.
Is like I value family, but I think
Yeah.
in terms of my head, what I'd say to myself,
Yeah.
just stick to your own family, mate.
Yeah.
Just stick to running a nice, make a little bit of money.
Yeah.
Don't take risks.
Yeah.
Like, and then
don't lead people.
Don't lead people. Don't get into any position of influence that might hurt people in the future, because that's what you do. It was very like an identity thing. Like you're dangerous, and you should. I mean, to one lens, you could call it. There's a different topic around toxic masculinity.
Yeah,
but there's a bit of that going. Hey, you're dangerous. You should hide away. You should.
Yeah.
Cut your claws, become docile, and just make sure you don't upset anyone.
Yeah. Wow.
In the future. Like, don't live.
Don't live.
Don't live.
It. Just don't live, mate.
Like, it's an anti-vision of life. Like,
yeah. Wow. That's full on.
Yeah. You're not, like, don't die, but don't live either.
You know what? So this is what's crazy, Greg, is that you just explained a lot more, right? Compared to what you actually wrote down on the first time you started to write down some stuff, right? And I wrote down 3 big things. Now you talk about like what was actually in my head was massive compared to the 3 big things that I wrote down, and started to cry to even confess these things as a thing.
Well, when I say them out loud, it's no wonder I had no energy.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
When you say it like that, you go, do not live. Yeah. Do not take risks. Do not hurt anyone. Do not, like, the parameters of that
Play
is
safe.
Yeah. Don't, like, and there's it's almost like their legion. There's so many of them that you go, well, if that's running in the subconscious or that's running consciously, and I'm trying to go, oh, have a good day. Like, you can, or listen to a podcast or something. You go,
so good.
No wonder it can't combat it. And if it feels true, like, I think that's at a physiological, at a body level, I hadn't made, till we worked together, I hadn't made the connection of this is experienced in your body.
Yeah.
So I would feel low energy. I would feel down. I would feel that way deeply. But I would tell my mind that was going, zzz, I was telling my mind, it's all good, and here's how you stay motivated, and you need to suck it up, and you got a family to look after, and come on, you can't feel sorry for yourself. And so you feel like there's this deep anchor.
Yeah.
And then this, it felt like an elastic band. I explained to someone else, it felt like there's an anchor that the elastic band is tied to, and any sort of forward movement or desire to move forward is only stretching the elastic band.
Yeah.
And the further I stretch it, it's going to get worse.
Yeah.
Because the only place it can go is to snap back. And so my feeling was, I think, in reaching out to you, like, I want to untie whatever's on that weight so that we can just move forward.
Yeah. Well, then the big question, were you able to? There's a lot down there.
Yeah.
Right. Like so you come into, I say, yeah, cool, man. Let's jump into like a NeuroFit program. I'll work with you for a couple of weeks. How did that help? Did it help?
Yeah, absolutely.
And then how?
I think the first thing was going, which of these many thoughts are we going to focus on? And I had a concern initially going, are we going to pick the right one? Because what if we pick the wrong one and it's not the thing? And then I've got 17 other things to work on. I think you helping me understand, look, let's pick, we spent some time discerning which one would focus on and what felt like the biggest and holding me back, but also understanding, like you say, that it's not just that you have a thought, it's that you have memories, that you have told yourself something that lead to the belief in that key thought that gives it its weight and its power. And so understanding that we're actually going to go back through some memories, and maybe there's a bit of nuance with what I tell myself, but that was a new experience for me to go, we're going to work on one main thought over, 6 to 8 weeks?
Yeah.
We're going to work on one, but we're going to go back through these different memories that hold a lot of power because of the story you've told yourself and what you think that they mean. And we're actually going to spend some time to investigate them and renovate them and work on them. Um, I think it was really helpful knowing a bit about what the brain's going to do during that time,
Yep.
and knowing that it's going to feel quite
Yeah. You're gonna feel quite yuck.
destabilized.
Vulnerable.
You're going to feel vulnerable, and you're going to feel potentially more weak. You're going to feel like that was strange going as you focus on thoughts and you change them, you spend time
Yeah.
reimagining what they mean, that's going to have a physiological response, and there's going to be a release of toxins. And around
Yeah.
this certain day of the process, be kind to yourself, because
it's coming.
these changes actually affect your body. So I think number one, choosing something, having hope that I could move forward, that's helpful when I was feeling stuck. Journeying through memories,
Yeah.
and you helping me.
Was that tough for you? Like,
it was tough for me to go into them instead of just wanting to try and say it's fine and move on.
yeah, wow.
Because I think the pattern had been that I don't acknowledge what's not good. And so to be led into that space and I think to be invited to be seen in a place where, like, we were doing Zoom calls, but to be seen in a place where I wasn't okay, or didn't handle something, or just I wasn't feeling okay, to express that and to be seen and to be asked how that felt. I imagine for most men, is like,
weird.
When do you experience that? And rather than trying to fix it, you go, that sounds really hard.
Yeah.
Like, what was that like for you? Or tell me more. So I think it's multiple times when, I was just, when you say something or acknowledge it, you go, oh, there is emotion there, and you end up in tears. I would, not you. I'd end up in tears. And that was both very vulnerable. I felt safe with you, obviously, or I wouldn't go there. Vulnerable. And then also like a re-cracking open of my heart.
Yeah.
That was like a cathartic release of going, oh, I can feel. Oh, there are emotions there.
Because you said to me, I remember when we first started, you're like, I don't know what I feel. So I need you to help me to figure out, do I even have feelings? Or like, what are they?
I'd say when someone asks me what I feel, I would say what I think.
Yes.
And couldn't tell the difference.
Yeah, you studied law. So,
I like ideas.
The logical,
the
logical process, ABC makes sense.
Yeah.
Whereas, when you dive into this, there's no logic to it. It's just raw, it's real, and then can you stand in it? Which is often way harder than we think it is. So I'm looking at your life, right? And so you have a few moments, but then this moment here, moving back to Nelson, is probably one of the biggest trigger moments. Or like, I could go two ways. I could withdraw fully, family man, just gonna focus on the family, couple holidays a year, get a stable job, be fine. Probably live in regret from it, but price you got to pay for safety. Or you go the other way and say, I don't want to live this way, right? I don't want to, be stuck in a life I will end up regretting. I'm sure, 7 weeks is not like, oh yeah, cool, my life's changed forever. Life's still happening. What's been the journey of going like, I'm going to acknowledge myself and start looking at myself so I can grow who I am moving forward, so I don't withdraw back to? What has that journey been like for you?
I think like the working with you in the program and that amount of time is incredibly helpful for what you're working on and experiencing massive change, release.
Yeah.
That is amazing. And at the same time, being given the tools to know this is a way of working, that I need to keep revisiting.
Yeah.
So it's not like that, that thought was just like, oh, it's gone forever. It is, it becomes completely weakened, and new beliefs that are there and restructuring. But I've had to come back to that tendency multiple times. And continue to relook at other memories and different, investigating that and seeing what else might be true. And I think like even recently, there's other things, there's a different topic that's come up. and being able to work through a similar process to go,
Yeah,
what's the
bro.
trigger? What are the memories?
Mm,
And I had one recently that was great, just following that same process.
yes.
I hadn't been doing the process for months and months,
Yeah.
and then going, oh man, I'm feeling really stuck again. You sent me a detox journal,
Yes. Let's
brain
go.
detox journal.
I'm doing one at the moment. I'm day 17 today.
Yeah,
Yeah,
nice,
it's full
nice.
on.
And it was, just writing down the trigger. What's the thing that's going on? And there was something similar along the lines of, it will whatever the thing was, it will always be like this, with a heavy,
Mm,
this is the way life is. There's a lack of hope. There's a despondency. And then getting into the memories and going,
yeah.
oh, these are different memories that maybe make me think that way or feel that way.
Yeah.
Um, so in terms of how it's been, like renovating and going back into those even in the last 15 days with
Yeah.
this new detox that I'm doing, it's going, man,
So much to it.
there's no shortcut to doing the work.
Mm,
And I always want something more special than doing the simple, boring work.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
want a
Yeah.
podcast. I want a quick fix. I want to just give me
I
some
need the new
inspiration.
Alex.
I
Like the
think
next.
I want it just go, hey, have I been journaling in a way that helps me work out what's underneath what's really going on and
Yeah, bro.
reimagine those thoughts in a way that reframes them to help
Mm,
me see the truth that allows me to walk in freedom?
yeah.
Well, no, I haven't been doing that.
Yeah.
Why? Because I've rather been on getting quick dopamine on social media and like,
Yes.
so I think long way around to say the journey since then is continual. And
Mm,
when I ignore it, I pay the price
yeah, bro.
because I'm not special, even though I want to be special and not have to do the work. And I always come back to, I have to
Yeah.
do the work.
Have to do the work. Do you mind if I because I feel like our your thought detox at the moment is very, very similar to mine.
Right.
And you could definitely say no. Do you mind if we soundboard our current ones?
Yeah.
Let's
Totally.
go.
I don't know what yours is.
Oh,
I don't know if you
bro.
know what mine is.
So, well, you
Put it up
said
there.
you were like, oh, that thought of like it'll always be like this. So mine's come up around like I'm day 17 today, and it's like, oh, this is as far as I go. This is my cap. I'll never be able to reach my cap. But my trigger, I got triggered when a client of mine just gave me a full threat, right? And I pushed a few buttons, and he just came in out of blindsided me, just bam, and then it ended into like a full death threat, like full on. And I've never been frozen before, but I was frozen. He left the office, and I was alone in here, and I was like, I just sat on this couch for an hour and a half, and I try to get my, and I was like, I don't even
Your
know what to
body would be
feel.
in fight,
Yeah,
flight,
100%.
freeze
I was
form.
like, like, and then the whole week, so it was on a Friday, and the whole weekend, weird, but I'm like looking like, like try like I got to keep my family safe, like all these, and I'm like, whoa, this is so random, right? But I started a thought detox that night. I soundboarded with Hannah. I was like, "This happened. I don't know what." And she cried, and I was like, I honestly, I have no idea what's going on, but I've got to do something. I don't like how it's going. So as I go, and then I started digging. I started investigating, like, why did my body respond like this? In the moment, wow, I was composed, right? I was
Yeah,
like
yeah.
peak performance in the moment. He's getting red, and I'm like, so many things to say right now, but I'm not here to fight you. I'm just gonna. You're getting triggered at your own story, but you got to take it out on me. Yep, yep, okay. So I performed well. Afterwards, not so well, right? And so then I'm digging and finding out, like, oh man, I felt intimidated and felt like, my security or my strength was found in what I've built all this time. And I started going down this whole journey around like, I've always done what people say I should do, right? So if it's just your authority, so authority says you can do that, you're like, all right, cool, I can do that then. If they didn't say I can't do it because growing up I was, dyslexic and ADHD, so I felt inadequate and stupid. So I should only just do if people think, and it went all the way back to sport, right? Like a person worked a little bit harder than me in 1 year, and then he got a lot more social cred. So I was like, well, I just gotta lay back now. It's what people want and give the people what they want. So that became my thing. And then when I decided I'm going to do something on my own, I was like, oh, this has to work now because no one else is going to no one else, I can't fall back on someone else's word. And so uh this time was like, oh well, if someone takes this away, this is as far as you go. Like, who are you without people's authority words, or who are you without NeuroFit? And I was like, oh, so if someone goes at NeuroFit, I'm like, now let's go.
That's my
Like
thing. I
I
need
want to
it.
fight now because no one else is gonna fight for me. So it was real random, but it just hit me today around like uh always feeling like I'll be forgotten, and that as I'm like, I'm always trying to reach this cap, but I always hit this cap. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And then if I can't go, yeah, well then more chances of me being forgotten if this goes away. So it's real random, but it's been a real low couple of days with that one
Mm,
because it's like, oh, cool, people are gonna forget about you because you're insignificant, you're replaceable, all these things, and I was like, wow, different. But that's what I'm processing
mm,
at the moment, all because of that one trigger.
mm.
But what's interesting is I wrote a forgiveness letter for him on the weekend, and he was coming in on Monday. And on Monday, I felt fine in the moment.
Yeah.
He was fine. He was like, "No, I'm sorry. Let's just continue," and we continued.
Mm,
But on Friday, if I didn't get this out, I would have come in on Monday hostile as heck,
mm,
and I would have defended myself, and I was going to put him in his place, right? I was like, "Don't you ever?"
mm.
But I was like, "That's not winning in my head." But that's what's going on for me at the
Yeah.
moment.
Wow.
Yeah, bro. But on your side, if you don't mind,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
jump in.
All right. Um,
We can do a live session right now.
yeah. Yeah. Let's go.
Let me-
Let's go. My one will be, I mean, I'll share what it is. It'll be relatable. I hope to a lot of people. It'll be, it's a faith-based one
Yep.
for me that I've been wrestling with, and but it'll be relatable with people in different contexts. I think with
Mm,
similar sort of things. So I remember penning my first day, so first trigger or first key thought that I felt like
yes.
was holding me back, and that was I can either live a life that is faith-based and following God, or I
Mm,
can hustle and do it my way, but I can't have
both.
both. And so mine being, I don't know how to operate in a way that is surrendering and wanting to follow God, but then also I've got a
Mm,
huge amount of initiative and the ability to take action, and things seem like they move forward when I do.
yes.
So what do I do with that? And I've had some conversations with other people who relate a lot to going, other people that are
Yeah.
seeking to follow God and also in businesses, like, do I do this or not? Or what is, what
Mm,
do I, so I've been journeying that out and going, the place that it led to was, God, I can't fully trust you.
yeah.
I can't trust you. And it's why, going to the memories. Well, look what happened in my 20s.
Yeah,
I
bro.
did trust you, and look what happened. I
Mm,
burned out, and then what happened again? Well, I trusted you here, and here's what happened. I had a list of things. But one of the interesting things was, so two things that have been helpful. One is in renovating those. So listing them all out, I was like, I'm not allowed to write these things out.
yeah,
Like, this
yeah,
feels
yeah.
kind of,
Yeah, yeah, 100%.
writing these out and going, oh man, do I actually think that or believe that?
Yeah.
Because that's really hard to combat if you go, well, fundamentally, I don't trust God, but I'm trying to, but I actually
Mm,
don't believe that. So
mm,
getting down to some core ones for me, and then going back and looking at each one
yeah.
by one. And I just put a line next to them and drew an arrow and said, let's investigate this. And what I found was, for me, each of the times that I had said, I trusted you and look what you did, or look what happened, there was well, let's just spend a bit of time on that. You know, did you really trust me? Or did you trust in yourself, but you were doing
Mm.
it for me?
Oh,
Or you were trying to be a good person, be a good whatever,
yeah.
but you took it all back on,
Mm,
and actually you stopped listening to me. You
mm,
you weren't, so that's a faith-based
yeah.
example. But what it came out was, I felt I was free, because it was kind of like, you haven't been trusting me at all.
Yeah,
You've been
wow.
trusting yourself and
Yourself.
really wanting to trust me, but then you
Mm.
blame me when things haven't worked out. But actually,
Yeah, and when it's going good, you're like, "See, he's working in my life."
exactly. So there was this, that was a liberating moment, going, oh, there's a new invitation to trust God in a different way
Mm,
that I actually haven't. This is not an either or, and it needs to be worked out in a really categorical, way. It was, there's an invitation to a new kind of adventure that I haven't actually ever experienced.
Yeah,
So
wow.
that was a new thing. The other was a few different, well, like modern books talking about the desire for incapacity. So
Incapacity.
incapacity.
Oh,
So
elaborate on that.
the willful desire to fail is a book called Wake Up and Live. Don't recommend the whole book, but the first few chapters talks about the willful desire to fail and the almost infinite ways that we self-sabotage our own lives, even though other people might think that we're doing all right.
Yeah.
But we know
Yeah.
that we are actually sabotaging everything, or living the fake life, living the alter life to the
Yeah.
thing we would actually live if we weren't living by fear. So
Mm.
there's that, and there's a book, The War of Art, or Stephen Pressfield
The
has a
Art of
book
War?
called no,
Is
well,
it?
he
No?
flips it around, War of Art,
War of Art.
and Stephen Pressfield has got a book, Turning Pro,
Oh, okay.
and he talks about the what's the reward you get from substance abuse, procrastination, a lot of different behaviors. Is the payoff is incapacity. Surely you couldn't expect me to live up to my potential if you knew how hard this thing is for me or that. It's not to take away how hard something is, but
Yeah.
how we often recreate situations to incapacitate ourselves.
Wow.
And I think going through a couple of different books and then also mapping that onto some scripture, the parable of the talents, where you've got the 5-3, I think it's 5-3 and
Yeah.
one talent, and the first two do something with the talent, the measure that's given by the master while he's away, and the last one blames the character
Of the master.
of the master as a reason why he did nothing.
Yeah,
And I
wow.
saw that and said, oh, he desired to be incapacitated. He desired and used the
Crazy.
means of pointing the character and the finger in the Bible at God, but at the master. You are this person, that's why I did nothing.
Oof.
And the parable ends by him flipping it around and saying, you're lazy.
Oh my
He
God.
calls out, you're lazy. Like, the truth is that you're lazy. And he goes, no. The truth is your character's flawed. That's why I did nothing, because
wow.
I was scared. You're a hard master. You do all these things.
Oh my gosh.
And so there was
This is so good.
basically realizing for me, am I desiring to be incapacitated in my life, and using God, using this,
Yeah.
using that, using all
Challenge.
these situations because I actually want to stay stuck.
Wow.
Like, deep down, I want to stay stuck. And so
Wow.
that was a big thing. Even in the last sort of
Bro.
10 days, I felt like let out of a cage going,
I'm free, baby.
I was like,
Oh man.
yeah, it
That's
was-
honestly like,
I don't want to incapacitate myself anymore. God doesn't want to incapacitate me. Other people don't want to. And if they do, that doesn't need to control me.
Yeah, wow.
And the response has been interesting because I've just started living more, just started being, just started doing,
Let's go.
but it triggers other people.
Oh. Okay, no, jump on that.
I can't.
No.
I can't.
Don't know
It's too
names.
personal.
No, don't know. But like, oh man, there's so much in that, bro. So one, you're journaling out. When I did trust you, I burned out. It's because of you.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, actually, my character, you. And so yeah, table flips. Okay. And then you said something, you're like, oh, I actually wanted to be stuck.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
bro.
I've looked into why as humans do we
Yeah.
desire to be incapacitated?
Come on now.
And the flip side is to take the weight of responsibility and the freedom that we actually have is too powerful and scary.
Wait, say that again. To take the weight.
To take the weight of responsibility,
Yeah.
and the freedom that comes with having agency, the ability to choose,
Yeah, gotcha.
is too terrifying and too liberating
for
for a human to handle often, because it is like just it is.
yeah.
So first of all, there's the handling of, when I say handling, taking responsibility is not all positive. There's that's my fault. That's
Yeah.
on me.
Yeah.
And owning up to that, there's a weight and a substance that takes you down into the thing you've been avoiding for so long, the thing that I came to you about. Hey, if I'm responsible and I'm honest, there's this stuff inside of me, like, help.
Yeah.
And then there is I have the agency, the ability to choose. But if that keeps going, if I can decide about that, that means
Mm,
I can decide about that, which means I have huge agency and freedom,
yeah.
which for most people is too
Can't
much.
handle. Scary. Scary as heck.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So there's comfort in being controlled. Or
Even though it might be, actually be terrible,
mm,
and not saying, oh, that we want it. At one measure, we absolutely don't want it. We
yeah, bro.
fight it. We absolutely say we want the opposite. But deep
But
down, deeper than that,
yeah.
we do want it. And also,
Oh,
well, you could maybe say it another way. We don't know who we would be without it. And we have built an
that's it.
identity. And so without that thing, like if I say, I just hurt people, if that becomes my identity, I can't
Mm,
let it go because I lose a sense of self.
yeah, wow.
And if I lose a sense of self, then I mean,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
too unstable.
I always say to people a lot of when we, like we're digging, we're finding out like, oh man, like I am what people say I am. I gotta people please and all this kind of stuff, but I'm always burning out every year and all this kind of stuff. And you're like, have this side of same thing, like I am this because of I fear disappointing people because if I don't like, and so it sucks, but it's safe to play that game because I know how to play it. I know how to pull this lever today. Boss is gonna go, well done, so good. Or, but it's all based on, and I always say to a person, when you decide to jump from here to go, oh, I choose to believe I'm gonna be this, and it's not gonna be based on someone else's opinion, someone
Mm.
else's action, someone else's it's exciting, scary as heck. And like normally that's like your most vulnerable 7 days of their process because you're like, I don't know what this is yet.
Yeah. You're letting go of the unhelpful familiar
Yeah,
for the helpful unfamiliar. You don't know what it.
bro. Honestly, I have a guy. Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. We can always be stuck. We're often stuck in limbo, and that's when you get more frustrated because you become aware. And I'm always like, general awareness is not enough. Like awareness should then prompt action. And today, I think in the mental health space, it's like increase awareness. It's always awareness,
What I
awareness,
appreciated
awareness.
about your approach that I think is fundamentally different to a lot is it wasn't just listening to me for me to do self exploration to make my own decisions.
Yeah.
While that's a key part of it, I think you fundamentally believe that certain things are helpful for people and
Mm,
certain beliefs are not. And like if you believe that, that is going to be harming you and harming other
yeah.
people. So there's a base there, I think, that you're going, hey, it's not just, hey, whatever.
Mm,
There's certain things that we know about people or, now how you operate with the people that you help, that
yeah.
there's um, it's not just figure it out and whatever you want is all
Mm,
good as a journey of self exploration. Because if I let go of who I think I am and I'm journeying, I mean, is
yeah.
this a journey
Yeah.
of total um, self discovery that it would just everyone's making up as they go? So I think that was helpful in
Mm,
you having worked with other people and doing the research and study that you have to be able to go, hey, if you're bumping into that, that's really unhelpful,
yeah. Yeah.
and permission to name it as something that you can let go of.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. You actually have choice, which is also another part of that. Of like, oh, you have the ability to choose. So now you say you 10 days you started living. What does that look like?
It's a great
Or
feeling.
feel like?
It's a great feeling.
It's a great feeling
I
of
feel like
exploration.
I'm going
The adventure has
well
begun.
like I've been saying to Alex that I'm sharing an office with. I said energy is
Is
energy's through the roof.
come on now.
Energy's through the roof, and I'm like, it's sustained.
Oh,
Like
let's
I'll
go.
say to him, like, I'll just stand up in the office and be like, boys, it's a good day. And then they said, why? What happened? Did you win some new client or what? I said, I got energy.
Let's
I've
go.
got energy. And the next day, I'm like, I've got energy.
It's
So energy
honestly,
is the most practical everyday thing that going. The handbrake feels
bro.
off.
But everyone's fighting for energy, man.
That's the thing is going
Like,
realizing that it feels like energy. Being energetic is a natural state when you let go of the things holding you back, as opposed to you have to manufacture
Yeah,
inspiration, enthusiasm,
bro.
all of that, and going, what if being energized is my natural state?
Oh, free. Oh, bro.
Like, while it's the context of the word is not helpful, but in theosism, it used to be enthusiasm was to be infused with the divine, in theos, in God,
Mm,
in theos. So there's this kind of, I mean, it's the older context of the word is not so helpful, but that idea as well, just going, yeah, to have energy
yeah,
that is an excitement about life is awesome. And going, if this is the beginning,
bro.
there's part of me going, screw you, tall poppy syndrome. Screw you,
Ah,
anyone who
Greg,
just like
come on, man.
I've watched some other stuff recently that's been helpful too.
This is so
Around
relevant to my life right now that I'm like, you're
I
fizzing me
I
out,
watched
bro.
something recently that was super helpful, and I go, man, I wanna get here.
Mm,
If I ask a question of you and it has a place to land, you'll respond. So if I say to you, hey, when did you stop loving yourself? If that has a place to land, you go, hey, look, when I was this age,
yeah.
this happened. If it doesn't have a place to land, you'll say, what are you talking about?
Mm,
I love myself. If
mm,
I say to you, hey, dude, your blue hair looks stupid, you go, I don't have blue hair.
yeah.
Like, that doesn't land with me.
Yeah.
And so where this is at the moment is going, man, imagine if the things that currently land with me that hold me back, I get to a place of believing something different,
And it
that
doesn't
they don't
land.
even land. That when
Oh,
someone says, hey, whatever,
yeah. You
take
won't
something,
make it.
you won't make it. And you
Yeah.
go, who are you talking to?
Yeah. Yeah. Come on now,
I mean, you're obviously not talking to
bro.
me, but it lands in that way as similar as you go, me go, hey, your long hair looks stupid. I ain't got no long hair. Like that level of, it's not I don't care.
Yeah, man.
It's look, dude, I 100% don't believe that,
Mm,
or at least 95%. What am I missing?
bro.
But that's the level of freedom. That's the type of freedom that gets me excited, that I could
Oh,
live in that place where stuff doesn't stick. So you just live your life. It offends who it offends in a
yeah.
good way.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
just living,
Yeah.
and then it helps those that it helps.
Was
And
relevant to the ones that's relevant. Yeah. And oh, bro. Yeah, how relevant this is literally like today. I changed my screensaver on my phone today. That what had been landing, right, or what wasn't landing was I talked to Ozzy probably a year ago around this, like, I just feel like I've reached my limit. This is my cap. And he was like, nah, bro, you're just beginning. Did not land. Didn't want to believe it. Why am I struggling then? Like classic. Whereas today, that finally landed. Like this morning was day 17. I was like sitting there and I was like, oh man, I am at the beginning,
mm, love
not
has
at
no
the end.
limits.
Bro, oh my gosh. And then you saying that, I was like, oh man, that actually landed. And I'm so like, I'm fizzing for it. Like it actually opens up. Ah, man, this is Greg. Who knew I'd be going here today?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
This,
And
honestly,
for whoever's listening, I mean, it is a scripture, but I think it's really powerful. It says, like, the one who fears, who has not been made perfect in love. If
mm,
there's fear, or
yeah,
if you like the just the context of, are you operating out of fear, being pushed by pain, or you're
yeah,
operating in love, out of value, out of what matters most? And the context, therefore, made perfect. The one who fears has not been made perfect in love. That word made perfect apparently is to be made whole,
yeah,
to
cool.
to be made complete. So if we have fear, and that's me
Mm,
going, like, man, I operate out of fear
yeah.
95% of the time, you start to get a taste of love, and you go, this
Whoa,
is limitless. Like, this is crazy. This is
bro.
where you're just not operating in a way that most of the population operates. And then you have no upper limits as well, because you're not going, what is my limit, fear based on what I should or shouldn't do?
Yeah,
I'm not even asking that question. Like, it's
yeah.
not even it'd be a weird question to ask.
Mm.
It would be like, why are we even talking
So,
about this?
so does this change your dreams now, Greg? Like,
I feel like the dream, yeah, 100%, it does. The dreams aren't there yet, but now I'm starting to navigate the new things that come with what happens if you just live like that every day.
Mm,
Um, it's less about very tangible, like I'll hit this, I'll do
Yeah,
that,
it's
and
not
that'll be very
achievement.
good.
It's
It's
not
just like
achievement.
if I was being this sort of person,
Yeah,
or I start to operate in this way,
yeah.
what would put it another way? What would happen naturally if I didn't unnaturally constrain it?
What would happen that yeah, yeah.
What would naturally happen in my life if I lived free and from love around
Mm,
the things I mattered most? If I didn't unnaturally put a limit on, constrain,
yeah.
and so it's more like a
I tell you what, you'd
it
probably push some people away
totally.
and be a savior to a lot of people. When I say
So
savior,
so
you'll heal, you'll help a lot
so
of
here's the
people.
thing, like growing up with a brother, a little bit older than me, I worked at school. I sometimes got better grades than him.
Mm,
There was this sense of oh, when Greg does well, he breaks relationship.
wow.
So when I
So it went
in
all
New
the way back
Zealand
to school, bro. Like not even just
school
like
or
leadership.
or
Like that's
younger, yeah, yeah, it'll go back to, and then you get New Zealand tall poppy syndrome. Oh, for
yeah.
Greg, it's easy.
Oh,
Oh, he just runs and he hasn't done this, like as in like in high school, run a
yeah, yeah, yeah.
in year 12 or year
And so did
13.
that get in the way between you and your brother?
Yeah,
Oh,
parents talked
wow.
about it. Had to treat
Wow.
us differently, try and all this sort of stuff, and basically picking up the message, if I be who I am, I will lose relationship. If I
Man.
operate in a level of, what comes naturally and then put effort in, you're gonna piss a lot of people off.
How do you reckon that so like I mean that goes way back, right? And
Mhm.
so you have like this where the heck do I fit? Who should I be?
Yeah.
How does that like if you fast forward to post uni going into figuring out work, career, ministry stuff, like how does that impact the way you operate?
I
Yeah.
would say always operating from a frame of looking around and going, "What has got enough approval to stop?"
What has got enough approval to stop?
I'll work enough until people around me go, "Good job," and then I'll stop.
Ah, but you don't want to go beyond
Don't
that.
wanna go beyond.
Wow.
Definitely don't wanna go beyond. Don't wanna stand out. Don't wanna, and then it's not values based. You're not asking, "Did I do my best?" You're just asking, "Is this good enough that it gets enough approval to do okay, but not enough that you lose relationship?" From other
Wow.
people going, "Who do you think you are?
Oh,
Oh,
bro.
you wanna be special? Oh, like you did this or that.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
let's make
yeah.
sure we don't." It's a fear-based capping of the unnaturally constraining
Mm,
what I would who I would be and what I would do if I was just operating from love. And so the
mm.
amount of energy to
Bro,
constrain yourself,
to not be you?
yeah, and to go, who you are is not wanted. Like the way you operate and the way you think and the
My
way,
gosh.
yeah, like you
You're
you
dropping so many dimes right now, Greg. Like it's actually out the gate, man. Who you are and not oh man, there's
like
so
we
many people
love
that
what
can
you
relate to
do
that.
to a point,
Yeah.
but who you are is not wanted. So you can operate
Man.
functionally, but if you start operating
Yeah.
in that space, dude, you're pretty intense. Little
Oh.
comments like that. Oh wow.
You know how
You
freeing this is for me right now?
good,
Like like this
good.
is so freeing, bro. Like James starting with all these dogs. Literally last year, I was trying to figure out how I live my friend journey. And I would always be afraid of getting too excited that I don't stop talking. Oh, like Rico's the deep one. Like they're like, oh, here we go again. Like, why can't you? Like,
I've heard
bro,
that so many times.
honestly, and
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
and I honestly, I was like, oh,
Just
okay,
talk
cool.
about
Like,
the
I
weather.
should, oh,
Just
bro,
talk about sports.
honestly, but I can just sit there and I'm like, oh man, I tiring as heck because now I'm like, oh, I can't ask that. Like they will think, oh, here we go again, bro. Why can't we just hang out? And I'm like, I only see you 3-4 times a year. This is us hanging out, but I'm not allowed to be me
Mm.
because being me is too, bro. This is so
I
freeing.
say
Like
so to be honest,
hearing this.
the analogy that I've used is I love, and I don't actually, but for this analogy, I love scuba diving in the depths of myself and
Yeah.
for other people. Like that terrain to me
Yes.
is like, oh, we're staying down here. We got the tanks on. We could spend hours down here. There's these fish and that, and we're
Yeah.
swimming and doing loops, and there's all this other stuff. And someone else is on a jet ski, just
Yeah.
just going around the surface. And I say, hey, do you want to come diving? And so I hold their hand and we start going down. And they go,
Nah.
I haven't got a tank. or like they always do, under the water, but they are swimming for the surface and they're
Yeah.
just going, I just want to get up as soon as possible. Or people are like, I'm happy to have a look, but then can we go back on the jet ski?
Yeah, yeah.
Or you'll ask a question and someone goes, wow, that's so deep. And you go, so
Mm,
deep. These are my thoughts
on a
most of
daily.
the day. And I
Yeah.
live in this place and I occasionally invite people that are willing to
To go
hang out
down.
in this space. Yeah. And then so you go,
Yeah.
I think finding your people where that's encouraged and normal,
Yeah.
and also finding a way to not have your light dimmed. And I think
Mm,
equally respecting someone else and not going the jet skis lesser and the this. I
yeah.
I love finding out, discussing,
Yeah.
working out how people work and their interior
Mm,
worlds. For other people, that's not their jam, and that
yeah.
is totally fine. And it's not less valuable. Doesn't
Yeah.
mean that
Wow.
they are lesser people. But for me to be me, like I need to be operating in that space to keep
Mm,
my energy up. And if I'm
yeah.
not, it's just
Yeah. Because my
not.
energy gets drained. And I think I put myself in this like, oh, I can't because that's my job. Like, it's just your job to go deep with people, Rico. So, like, when you're outside of your job, like, don't do your job. You know, like, and it was like that kind of like, okay,
Yeah.
cool. I just talk like, cool, yeah, yeah, you work, of course, and it's just real, like, but it drained the heck out of me. Like, I literally leave angry and tense
Yeah.
because, and now I'm like, it's because I can't be me. Out of, well, they're gonna think, oh, here we go again, another one of those deep questions. Can't we just hang out, man? This has honestly been one of the most freeing podcasts for myself.
Great,
So
man. Honestly, I've been thinking recently I need to get out of the country more. I need to get out of what is normal in the swimming pool or the goldfish bowl of New Zealand.
bro,
The culture
yeah,
and the place that we're swimming is
honestly,
mostly not healthy.
I agree
And
with
then
you,
you go somewhere else where to dream, to encourage,
bro.
all of that is normal. And then you realize, like a frog jumping in a hot pan, you realize, man,
Yeah, what am I up to?
just having this shock
Mm.
contrast of arriving in a plane, interacting with some people and going, oh, this is all different.
Well, that
I
happened to
need
me
that
when I
more.
just came to spend the day with you and Alex.
Mm,
You know, and I didn't realize how much I had been like tall poppy
yeah,
syndrome. Just
yeah.
can't speak, can't,
Mhm.
just fitting in. And in like one day of like, Rico, no, like, what the heck, man? Like, don't you understand how? And it just got me to see that, oh, okay,
Mm,
I do have a voice, so I can say something or I can be me. Was freeing,
mm.
so freeing. It's still a bit of a shock to the system around here in Christchurch, but I think that's the
That
right
thing is
thing.
something that's been really helpful for me, and hopefully is an encouragement to anyone listening. Is two things. Number one, the the amount of energy it takes to constrain who you are.
Yeah, bro.
It is you
Take the
go,
gate,
oh, there's so many things that I need to get more energy. Well, what if you had the energy, but you were keeping a lid on it so tight
bro.
that that was taking all your energy to hold it back instead of going, man,
Mm,
I'm
yo,
saying what I think. I'm feeling what I feel. I'm trying to do this in love. I'm trying to do it in faith. I'm doing, but I'm living. Like the energy that comes from that is awesome. And the second thing is realizing that other people around me, some of them, want it,
yep,
me to operate like that, need it,
yep.
and it actually makes a difference. Like seeing the flow on effect in our marriage and for the kids and all that. When I operate in that space, it immediately
Oh,
affects
I
the
can
atmosphere of the
imagine.
home
The kids would
and
love it.
all of that. And so there is the sense of life that happens and going, this is about, I wrote down who benefits if I operate in this way, who stands to benefit. And I was like, well, obviously me for these reasons,
Yes.
but what about my wife?
Yeah,
How does
come
she
on.
benefit? How do my kids benefit? How does the business benefit? How does the others around me benefit? How do other men around me benefit? And you realize going, well, who would it not benefit? You go, there's a select group that maybe are going to
Yep,
not want you to because it pushes buttons for them or some other
yep,
things. But the net positive is just,
dude. Oh, okay. Before we finish, there's one thing that you said that I'm just like, it's really hit me now. Probably gonna be my big takeaway now. One, I'm gonna go home and be like, yes, let's go. Like I'm
go,
busy
man.
because what you just hit was energy comes out of a love of who you are. That's what you hit. where I think we're all seeking for energy, and how we do it is juice cleanses, meditation, yoga. Like it's like we've performed and we're now going down a little bit, which we're supposed to decompress a little bit. But it's like, oh, we don't like who we got. Okay, cool. Let's add in a new health thing. Bam, boost the energy. Oh, then we get the validation and approval for more performance. And so now I'm like getting addicted to the performance. And as we go down, oh crap, I need a better gym routine. I need a, and so we add all these health things to give us the energy boost when it's internal anyway. But the internal part is I've got to actually learn to be me versus cap who I am, be safe with people, and then hopefully I can do a really good, healthy lifestyle that will give me energy. Oh, that's crazy. Because now I think if you look, I mean, I'm not going to pick you as a super unhealthy person, Greg, because you're running a marathon in a couple of days. Half marathon, sorry. Half marathon. But I think of now, like, oh, I know where my source of energy comes from is the freedom to be who I am and not afraid of the judgment of others, right? Then you add in healthy living.
Yeah.
Bro, now it's
The
like,
body still has needs. You still need, sleep, good nutrition,
Yeah.
exercise, all the other things
you can't
from
be
a bodily
dumb.
standpoint. But if all of that is, if you fundamentally are operating from fear, or you fundamentally are constraining yourself, you fundamentally have a desire for incapacity, all those other things, it really doesn't matter comparatively, like in how much it makes a difference,
Yeah.
the healthy things that you're doing. But if you're doing both,
Yeah, bro.
if you operate from love, if you operate from freedom, if you are
Mm,
being who you are, and that doesn't mean you say, I'm being who I am, take it or leave it.
yeah.
I like what Jordan Peterson says. He said, say what you actually think so that you can see what
What
you
you think.
actually think. Rather than
So
saying what you think
true.
other people need to hear, and
Bro.
let it land in the world and see what happens.
Mm,
Like speak what you believe to be true and see what happens. And that was helpful for me going through a people pleasing lens. I'd say what I think you want me to
yes.
say. And I would filter everything 7
Yes.
times before saying it. And it comes out weak and mousy because it's not what I actually think. It's what I think
You want
I
me to,
want you
yeah.
to. And so going, just say it and see what happens. You go, well, that's
Okay.
terrifying.
Okay.
But then great when you start to do it more.
Yeah. Oh man. Okay, we could literally keep going for like 2 hours, bro. So I'm gonna ask you one last question. Looking back at your whole story right now, there's two parts that I'm like, okay, cool. There's the burnout part that you can fall victim to, right? But then there's another part where you're like, oh, I'm incam what's the word you used?
Incapacitating.
Incapacitated myself.
Yeah.
Right. Which I feel like is a lot of, we all kind of, most people are rocking in that, like the fear of stepping out is too great. So I'd rather just stick to expectations that people have of me and da 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 da. What advice would you give to those people?
For the second group,
Yeah, second group.
I'd say if you realize that you are incapacitating yourself, starting to live a life of comfort, one of the things that I've found helpful is stretching out the time frame. Stretch it out to the end of your life
Oh,
because it doesn't feel that painful in the moment. It feels like it totally makes sense. It can feel like wisdom. Of course, there's rationalizing
yeah.
why you're living the way that you're living. If you play it out, or two ways. One is to pretend that you die this year.
Mm,
So there's like a funeral exercise you could do and go like, have I really
yeah.
been living? But maybe just extending it out to say you lived 70, 80, 90,
Yeah.
and you go, what would I really want? And I think that's when you can realize that you would have long-term regret, because a
Mm,
life of comfort, I think the bill,
yeah.
if you like, or the receipt from living a life of comfort only happens later. And it's a deep and compounded regret that's really hard to look at.
Yeah. Wow.
So if you can force yourself to look
There
at
now.
that, then that can make the current pain big enough to change.
Gotcha.
Otherwise,
Yeah.
you got social media and Netflix and your work and relationships. It all
Right.
just swims. And so that perspective is massive. The second thing is think about who actually benefits if you get out of,
Yeah.
who stands to benefit.
Yeah. Great.
I saw a Nike ad was recently redone from Just Do It. They did it with who's the creator guy? I can't remember. They redid Just Do It into a full ad that was speaking about all the risks of taking risk and saying, what if you don't?
Mm,
Same for the current anxious generation.
mm,
Just do it is too much. I can't just do it. But
yeah.
what's at risk if you don't?
Oh, bro.
And if I think about that with my relationship, with my kids, like
Mm,
with those around me, with my relationships, and you extrapolate it out to the culture, to this, to that, to New Zealand, to what I'm called to do, if I don't step out of it,
yeah.
none of that will happen. So
Yeah. Wow. And that's the thing that really excited me today was the who will benefit if I decide to actually just live and be me. And I'm immediately thinking of like, man, I know my
because
wife and kids are sick at home
there's
right
no
now,
competition. There's no
bro.
competition with you being you. I'm not
Mm,
competing against you. You're not competing against me. If I have a sense of I'm trying to beat you, this is a horrible thing.
yeah.
If I have a sense of I am just fully trying to be
Me.
me, and so you don't have to be me or be anything like me,
Yeah.
but what does it mean for you to fully be you? So it's mutually releasing.
Oh man. Ah, well, Greg, this has been one of a kind.
Great, man. Thanks for
One of
having me.
a, I'm like every podcast after this, I'm like, so what are you reading at the moment? You know, let's go into that. But no, I want to say thank you so much for coming down from Nelson, mate. You know,
Oh,
stopping in, shooting a pod, and then straight onto the road again.
it's great, man.
Yeah,
I've
no, I
loved it.
appreciate it.
Need to come hang out more.
100%.
And these chats are mutually filling, man.
Oh,
The more I get triggered, the more I'll be doing your thought detoxes, and we can talk about it more.
well, I think you're on a cool trajectory now where it's like, I want to live. I don't know what that looks like yet. So it's like it's a completely new adventure that you don't know what's going to come, but it will. And you're like, oh well, in order to continue living that way, I got to die to this now. And that's
It's
the beauty.
exciting.
That's come
Yeah.
on, let's go. Triggered. We'll see.